Pac-Man is one of the most iconic characters in gaming, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna bore you explaining who Pac-Man is. You already know. But what you don't know about is a cancelled VR Pac-Man game from the 90s. Addressing the main topic of the video at the start of the video? In a YouTube video? How shocking! So in the 90s, Pac-Man was kinda struggling. The arcade game has become outdated and the sequels were far less popular. So Bandai Namco wanted to make Pac-Man popular again. And what was popular in the gaming world at the time? 3D games and VR games. So they partnered with Virtuality, a VR company, to make a 3D VR Pac-Man game. And it did end up releasing, but it's now very obscure. There's only one video and a couple of photos of the game on the entire internet, and it kinda makes sense. How do you expect to get clean footage from a VR headset from 1996? And it doesn't help that it wasn't a success. In fact, it sold terribly, mainly because of the actual VR machine being super expensive. It's surprising that a Pac-Man game is so obscure. Well, I should say it was obscure. Because in 2017, a company called Virtuosity Systems, who I would imagine has some connection to Virtuality, claimed to have obtained the rights to the Pac-Man VR game. They shared some info on the game, like it apparently had a multiplayer mode, and in 2020, they started selling a ROM of the game on their website. So now we have footage of the game, and it's preserved, although the site is no longer up. We do have some Pac-Man GIFs remaining from the website, and I love them. Pac-Man has this nice little cel-shaded look, and him jumping with excitement playing his VR game is just so charming. But starting off in the title screen of the game's logo looks terrible. And it doesn't help that the rest of the text is from Comic Sans. And on to the actual gameplay, it sure is a first-person VR game in 1996. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it looks terrible. I do like the ghost designs, they remind me of the Hanna-Barbera ghosts. But for what it is, and taking into account when it was made, it's very impressive. And Virtuosity has stated that they are planning on remaking it and releasing it on modern VR platforms. It's pretty confusing, seeing as how Pac-Man isn't owned by them obviously, and Bandai Namco doesn't really care about re-releasing a failed bad game, but I'm interested to see where it goes. And that's the story of Pac-Man VR. And despite all my opinions on the game, like it being trash, I couldn't be happier with people's effort to preserve it. Every piece of media should be preserved. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, if it's the most popular game ever or sold 12 copies, nothing should be forgotten. Pac-Man VR isn't good, but it should be forgotten. I'm Benson, and thank you for watching.